It's very, and that's why when it produces its reports, governments listen, because they do extensive research. And some of you might have seen the long piece on this on Al Jazeera. There was a large plate where one of the key advocates of the Rohingya people is talking about that. And one of the things he said is that social media has been very active in promoting the cause of the Rohingya people, alhamdulillah, which is a good thing. Using social media to raise awareness. It's been a very, very good thing. But also, they have been putting out a lot of misinformation. And when misinformation, and you've got to realize, the Burmese themselves have been putting this misinformation out. Muslims uncritically take this without verifying the information that's coming to them. And then they put out misinformation. As a result, they're saying this actually discredits the cause of the Rohingya people. I mentioned this in yesterday's talk. General principle, Allah says in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu in ja'akum fasikum binaba'in fatabayyanu an tusibu qawman bijahalatin fatusbihu ala ma fa'altum nadimin. Oh, you who believe, when a person comes to you, a irreputable person comes to you with news, verify it, lest you will cause greater sin and as a result of that regret what you have done. So look at this. Allah says someone brings you information and news. Don't just take it, become emotional and put it out. Check it. Is it robust? Is it accurate? Is this information which is and then put that out when you know this is accurate and reputable information. Otherwise you put misinformation out and it discredits the cause. Many of the photographs that are being currently circulated around the violence against the Rohingya are false. There's one famous photo saying genocide of Rohingya. It shows lots of Buddhist monks, many people lined up dead upon stretchers. And this, if you look at them, they are not people who have been wounded. People have been killed, as a result of machetes, have been clubbed to death, beheaded, and you can't see that these are the injuries which are on those bodies. Immediately when I saw this picture, I saw this was a picture which was a false picture. Not only that, where killings have taken place, eyewitness reports have stated that the security forces have actually taken the bodies themselves. So they have prevented Muslim burial. And many of them have been cremated rather than given Muslim burial. Because you don't want mass graves. Many of the mass graves, some mass graves have been found. But you know when someone perpetrates, they want to get rid of the evidence. So you're not going to find photos. And so again, there is eyewitness reports that there has been mass cremations of bodies rather than burials. And obviously in contradiction to another human right, which is the right to practice your religion, your religious rights of burial. That cannot be denied to someone. So this particular picture was not Burma. It's actually the Thailand earthquake, an earthquake which took place in Thailand. And those deceased there are the victims of that earthquake. In other cases, you've seen pictures being shown, and you can say that these are not ethnic Rohingya people. They're not ethnic Rohingya people. They're not dressed like ethnic Rohingya people. Yet these pictures have been put out, and a lot of pictures are very old pictures from the conflict that took place in East Timor, when the East Timorese succeeded from Indonesia. Many of them are pictures from that, and they are Indonesian people, they're not Rohingyan people. So can you see the point I'm trying to make here? When you put out information, put it out so that it's robust, that we know what we're talking about. Otherwise you'll discredit this whole thing, and people will say you're just being overly emotional, just trying to create a situation. And also, brothers, the other point, we have to be balanced. It's no point us talking about persecution of Muslim minorities in Thailand, when in Pakistan we persecute minorities. Our religion, does it tell us to persecute minorities? Just in the same way we don't like ultra-nationalists and fascists and extremists amongst the Arakanese. We don't like them in our countries. So where we have persecution of Christians, where is it allowed in Islam to persecute Christians who are under our Aman and Ahad? As we know in Pakistan, unfortunately, some of the extremist groups have been persecuting Christians, attacking churches and attacking minorities. This is haram, unacceptable within Islam. And so sometimes we have to realize we can't have a double standard ourselves. We know the West has a double standard. We can't have a double standard, which is that we treat people in a way which is unfavorable, and we discriminate against minorities. Rather, in a Muslim state, and however you say Pakistan is a majority Muslim state, those people who are minorities are living there under protection on Muslims, so therefore their rights, their life is protected, their rights are protected, they have a right to practice their religion. We cannot prevent them from doing so. This is what you find clearly the rules within an Islamic state. So Human Rights Watch, these are the human rights